Welcome in, folks. It is Friday night, and you are watching the Ultimate Schmodown Show. We are here, to break down the Ultimate Schmodown Singles Tournament, which was, I would say, probably one of the best tournaments we've had in the last couple of years in terms of surprises, in terms of expectations being shattered beyond belief for some folks. And here to break all down with me is the man, the myth, the legend. It's Boggs. How's it going, bud?
Well, great intro, but yeah, all good, man. Super good match to talk about, plus lots of other news and what's been happening. So yeah, pleasure to be here to discussing it with my boy, Mr. Colin Morris.
That's me. So if you are a part of this world, like we are, you are probably well aware of this, but we would not be doing ourselves and everybody here at the Ultimate Schmodown Show justice if we did not lead off the show with our just warmest, sincerest sending of positive vibes to Kevin Smets and his family. One, having just recently welcomed in baby daughter into the world. But unfortunately, Kevin Smets, who is one of the greatest champions the Intergeekdom division has ever seen, broke the news on SEN Live earlier this week that he was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. And just, Box, we actually got off the call with one another. We've been studying for our matches in an upcoming fan league. And I was actually messaging at the time with Matt Thomas, who's running that. And he said, are you watching this? And I'm just like gut wrenched. And that's all he said. All I saw, that's all I saw. And then I had to rewind back to when Smet started talking. And then I think I must have had, I mean, you can't see what's in front of me. It's just a normal desk, but like I had tissues for like days. I mean, cancer is a huge thing. I mean, at least in my life, like this year, my stepfather was diagnosed and late last year, and I thankfully beat it and overcame it. But so it hits close to home. So the emotions were, it was a fresh wound, and then for it to, especially this is the exact same cancer that took the late great Chadwick Boseman, and he lost his fight, and that's like so. It felt like everything coming full circle. And one thing I really just want to say, and I'll throw it to you, Box, was how much I appreciated Kevin looking people in the camera and saying that, look, this is something that like doctors are, new things come out every day. And what seems to be the common thing here is that the age keeps lowering. Like, it used to be 50. Right now it's, he's 41, right? He's right. So he's 9 years before he should get checked. And well, maybe you should go get checked and all these things. And that's the message that he was pushing. It was so powerful. And it was so, he said, head down and move forward, just keep moving forward. And that's my favorite line from like what I will shamefully say is in my top 5 favorite Disney movies is Meet the Robinsons, keep moving forward. And that's just the message that he was projecting. It was just so powerful. So, I mean, Box, over to you, bud. But yeah, all that.
Yeah. So, well said. It's like you said, I mean, doing that, coming out and telling everyone in that way, it just reflects his character. And yeah, just on the back of what you're saying, that's definitely, it opened my eyes with it, because guys are younger and getting this the same kind of cancer issue. So it led me to think, oh, do I need to get checked? I've never had it before, checked on that before. Maybe I do, that kind of thing. Because even to be honest with you, I was thinking about it, and so like I know a couple of people my age and younger who have cancer. Like one of them is like a close family friend of mine. And just lately, I've just not been in contact with them, due to maybe lockdown, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So it led me to think, okay, well, I need to message them. I need to. So from that video that he's put out, I've rang them, I've texted them, I've got them in contact with my family, that kind of thing. And that was literally from Smets doing what he's done. So that's like, it's made me reflect. It kind of made me do more, because, thankfully we're in privileged positions to not have, like an illness like that. And, just giving us like how Smets has said, like giving that support, he needs that support. It will make him stronger, make him fight more. And that could be that, that's not just for Smets, that's for other people as well. And that made me think about, oh my, I can do so much more with this kind of stuff. Like I can help, give someone the attention, give someone, the time of day, that I definitely should be doing. And, just something else as well, random, that probably no one else even noticed about Smets, that I always appreciated that, when we've kind of set up the show, we've, early talks before we've even filmed an episode, we're talking how we're going to do the show, etc. We're going to set up a Twitter account. As soon as we've done that, I think obviously one of the producers set up a Twitter account, and not even an hour, I think, after it was set up, I think, oh, okay, I've checked my Twitter. I thought, okay, I need to follow obviously the TUSS pod Twitter handle, and I've checked it, and there's like a couple of followers there. I think the first one was that Shimos of the North, their fellow reactors as well, shout out to them. The second one was Smets, and that was like I was like completely shocked. Like we haven't even put out an episode, he has no idea what it is, but he's just immediately followed and supported the kind of Twitter, obviously our Twitter group. And it just gave me some kind of reassurance there, like, oh, like, because obviously worried about how players will think of what we do, are they going to see things, that kind of stuff. And that was just like an immediate, like, oh, like that's just like a millimeter of his good character, and how he's embraced, how everyone embraces him in the community, and how much they love him, basically. So that was just a little thing for me, just to say, oh, like, just reassured me that okay, like it's going to be all right. Like if the champ at the time can follow us and support us, like that just settled me down with it, and I really appreciated that. So yeah, absolutely, shout out to Smets, and good luck with your battle.
And we're here for you. And it's one thing that you don't realize is that when something like this happens, your world that you thought was really small actually turned out was to be a lot bigger than you actually were aware of. So I think that's a huge thing, and he'll notice that going forward, that we're all here. And every single one of us is here setting up positive vibes every day. So every time, we're there. On some more positive news, our man, Mr. John Roca, it is his birthday today. Happy 21st birthday to John. 21st.
I should reveal that. Yeah.
21st birthday of the outlaw John Roca. But happy birthday. It was fun watching on SEN. Everybody was sending in their love, sending in their vibes. Don't send them PayPal because they take a lot out. I learned that today.
Mm-hmm. Did you send something? I didn't
no, he said that he woke up and somebody sent him $50 on PayPal, and then Winston or Ben, Goddard was Ben was like, oh, you mean somebody sent you $47? And he was like, oh, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy birthday, Roca. Hope you're enjoying San Diego. I know. I wish I was in San Diego. I wish that I've never been. I've heard it's fantastic.
Yeah, I heard it's cool.
My dad goes all the time. And he just like always calls. He's like, oh yeah, it's always weird when my dad calls me at 11 o'clock. But it only happens when he would be on a work trip in San Diego. And I'd be like, oh, this is strange. I guess he knows I'm up. Right. Yeah. I'm like, well, what are you doing? He's like, well, I went to go see the Padres, the baseball team. He's like, I went to go see the Padres play. And then I went and got some. I'm like, oh, wow. What's it like if whatever. But San Diego seems great. Hopefully we can get out there for a Comic-Con. That's a goal. That's a big goal for me, is to go to San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah. Yeah. I want to be standing shoulder to shoulder, all sweaty with everybody, trying to get into Hall H. If you could just be in Hall H for something, for something like that, just be
unbelievable. Like a geek's pilgrimage or something.
Yeah, it's Mecca. I feel like it's Mecca for the inner geekdom division. That should be where the finals are every year. Like there's for people who know, like Blizzard Entertainment makes games like World of Warcraft and StarCraft and Diablo and Overwatch. They have BlizzCon every year, and that's where like they have the finals for all their games. I feel like the Inner Geekdom division should have the championship match at San Diego Comic-Con every year because it's like the central, you know, and then like the Star Wars match should always be at Star Wars Celebration. And then the finals of the, you know, we should always have a title match like the weekend that the Oscars happen. You know, the biggest weekend in movies should have a title fight for the Schmodown, right? Like, or, you know, or like an Oscars.
And the teams match would be like WrestleMania or something.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. You could do like, I mean, you could do these throwdowns. I think, you know, the throwdowns have been a great thing this year for them to just do any event, like any event, a Schmodown throwdown. And I think that's awesome. It's kind of like, it's just like SmackDown, but, you know, not a whole separate thing. It's all encompassed in one. Yeah, we got the sad news and the happy news out the way. Next up, I don't know how to feel about this news. So I think that's kind of where I'm going is the WildBerries are playing a retirement match. Elliot Dewberry, under the tutelage of now my pick for manager of the year, Shannon Barney, is acting like a sour berry. Like he's a little sour, like those grapes are turning to wine, and seems to only think that there's room for one pea in this pod, and that's forcing Josh McCouga's hand, and he accepted this title fight. He accepted, you know, this stipulation match. So Boggs, what were your thoughts when you first heard about it? What were your thoughts when, you know, McCouga kind of came through and was like, all right, I give in?
Yeah, first thoughts were when I first seen the promo the previous week was like, no, Josh, don't take it. Like, because, you know, no one wants them to break up, right? Like they're probably the most fun team. Like, so yeah, no one wants them to break up, even though they are in separate factions this year. But yeah, like Josh isn't one to back down from a challenge. He's played in these kind of stipulation matches before. So yeah, it was a bit of a surprise it happening in the first place, because that kind of held hope for a lot of people who support them. Like these guys, you know, might team up next year, that kind of thing. But now someone's going to retire. So yeah, I don't know really why exactly. But if I could give a prediction, I'm definitely going Josh McCouga. You know, over the years, yeah. I mean, over the years, the amount of pulls he's had and big wins.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you would think Dewberry is overall a better player, but there's just McCouga, he has a bit of Stacey Howard, you know, Andrew Guy X factor about him, where he can just pull out answers. You know, sometimes he knows deep cuts about random, you know, movies, and I've always been slightly impressed by
our good friend Leo the Lion out here coming in with a hot take, which was about to be my take. So you know,
it's not.
I'm giving you the credit. Elliot, I think, has the handle on this match. I don't know if you've noticed, Josh has been subjugating his body to some pretty weird stuff.
Yes, I have.
He's,
they just premiere in the UK. That had like a big
the first really what network was it on?
It's on the History Channel.
So you guys also have the History Channel. Okay.
Yeah, but it had like a big day. Like basically, we have it. You know what Sky is, right?
Yeah.
So it
owned by NBC. I think that's still owned by Universal. Is their global conglomerate?
Yeah. So it completely took over like Sky for the day. So there was constant adverts, and you know, on demand you can download the episodes. Yeah, and it was his face all over it. I was like, what the hell is this? It's super weird. Yeah. So that was it was definitely cool. I had to watch it just out of, you know, kind of, you know, because it's Josh, right? You have to support the guy. So yeah, it was
the first one, and then I was like, this is making me sick. And then I don't think I think the commercials were a little. I think I was like, I might be able to like binge this if I like, you know, had it all in front of me, easily digestible.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was once he ate like I think one of it was like it was like one of the crackers from like
it was a cracker,
like a war, and I was like, bruh, they had from water for that, son.
World War I or something.
Yeah. They would like drench that thing in water. Dry. There's no way you can eat that thing.
Yeah. I think I did watch the rest on like the other 2 or 3 episodes after that on YouTube though, because like you said, it does have a lot of ads. So I just kind of skim through it as quick as I can. But
those History Channel shows, they do get a little log of the tooth. I used to watch this show is called Top Shot, where they would bring together like 10 of the world's like top class, like just shooters. You could be like a gunsman, you could be an archer, you could be a sniper, like, you know, you could specialize in Western guns, but basically then they put you all in the same room and, you know, put you up against challenges. And that thing was like commercial hell. You would get like 34 minutes of content in an hour-long show, and I'll just be like, oh my God. Like it's worse than anime, because anime has a problem where it'll recap the last 3 minutes of an episode in the first 2 minutes of the next episode. So
okay, yeah.
I know, I just saw this, and so you gotta like fast forward to the certain parts if you're binging it. But if you're watching it, you know, week to week, on like when I used to watch Dragon Ball Z on Saturday mornings, I was like, there's no way around this. There's no DVR. There's no fast forward. There's no rewind.
Yeah, true.
Right. But yeah, shout out to Josh. But Josh has always been one of my favorite competitors. He's been around since season 1. I mean, there's not a lot of people. I mean, the people who are still left, I mean, competing, like that are still hanging around, are either like in movies or TV shows like Katie Sackhoff, or doing great stuff like Mary Jetikin, all these people that have just come and gone from Schmoes, or Tiffany Smith. I mean, all these people like season 1ers. And Josh was just a different breed that, from aside from Mark, Christian, and Mark and Christian, Josh was really competitive at the beginning of the Collider series.
Yeah.
When they first moved to Collider, he was always there, but it helped that he was working there. So I think that has a lot to play in me picking Elliot, is that Josh was very entrenched in the movie world. He was on Collider Live every day, or you know, whatever, and he was doing TV talk, and he would even guest on movie talk, and that's just not his life anymore. And I think Josh has been doing, you know, a little more in, like, you know, he's got married since the last time he competed. He, you know, he's got a baby on the way. Yep. So I think overall we're gonna see the same energy from Makuga, and yes, those wild pulls, you know, at the end of round 2 into round 3, right, might be there. But I think Elliot in round 1 might have the advantage, and I think that's where the match is going to be won.
Yeah, he should do. I mean, it seems like a bit of just like a swan song for Makuga to kind of finish the Smackdown kind of in a kind of good exit match kind of thing against his partner. So it just seems like it's all kind of tying up in a nice bow. But yeah, like you said, he's been killing it recently, and yeah, wish him kind of good luck going in.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And like I said, Shannon Barney, my new pick for manager of the year, because I don't know if anyone here is aware, but one of the biggest and baddest, I mean, runs I've ever seen by a competitor and been proven wrong almost week after week.
Yeah.
Like, it's just unbelievable what I'm witnessing. And I'm talking about the Coyote. We're here, folks.
Of course.
It's time to, oh my God. Adam Collins, you got the utmost respect from me, because that was one of the most head down, just, you know, play your game performances I've seen in a long time. There was a lot of hype that continued to grow. Very rarely does the hype train keep adding cars and keep moving at the same speed. Very, you know, you got to add more coal to the fire. But Adam was on that coal, and he was chucking it in. Match after match after match, just working on it. I'm just so, I just can't say how impressed I am. Like, Christian mentioned Oyama. It's shades of Oyama. It's shades of
Irwin.
Yeah, Irwin. Shades of Mara's confidence at her initial run in the Inner Geekdom. It's impressive, and people need to know that it's impressive. Like, this is not a fluke. This is somebody who is the peak of us, the ones who sit at home and think they know. No, he knows. And now he's told everyone. It's going to be fun to see this man translate hopefully into some studio content because I can't wait to see what Shannon will do. Boggs, we both picked Jeff Snyder. The floor is yours.
Yeah, well, you're basically right. I mean, he's absolutely earned his shot. Obviously, spoiler, but he's earned his shot against the GOAT. So yeah, I mean, you're right though. I mean, to be honest, if I'm being perfectly honest, I haven't been his biggest fan. The reason for that is because my heart's not with him. Like, I know he's good, but just for some reason my heart isn't there with him. Maybe because I don't have we haven't had as much time with him, maybe because we haven't had the studio situation or live matches where he's interacting with other players or the promos, enough kind of just general personality from him. He hasn't had the opportunity to kind of see that, and that was reflected in the promo. Because I don't know, when I was watching the promo, obviously Jeff's got all kinds of highlights from all over the years, live matches, even digital, but like Adam's promo was just all digital matches, and it just looked so weird. It just took me out, and it reminded me of when we were talking to Nerd Chronic last week. He was saying that he needs footage now. He's dying for footage of live matches, and I just saw that come to fruition in this promo. I was like, what the hell? Like, it's great moments against Roko, against Lon, against Liz, against Brendan Meyer, Gallegos as well. But it was just like, oh, like, that's why I want Snyder to win. He's like an original. He's he's fighting for something to prove. Respect on his name, and it just so that's why I was going in. I was definitely backing Snyder, even sitting down watching it. But the guys he's knocking on the door of being a great player already. So even when we're talking about Oyama and Owen and Mara coming in, they were like 4-0, 5-0 when they're winning the title. He's 6-0 now. Or is he 5-0 now? Yeah, sorry, he's 5-0 now. But yeah, and winning a tournament, going into that title shot, like he's absolutely proved his worth. He made me eat my words, and I'm definitely putting respect on his name because he's earned it.
He's earned it. He deserves it.
Yep.
And someone else who has always gotten respect from the two of us, Jeff Snyder,
of course,
spun away from in round 2 and ended up with, was it musicals? Did he end up with musicals? Was it?
I'll check. Jeff, what he done in? He spun a spy and landed on Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
Pulls out Tyler Perry better than anything he could have imagined. Like, it was, he almost, I mean, he went perfect, but didn't get max points. The move is like, it's got to be, everything was going Adam's way. The entire match was going Adam's way, right? It just seemed inevitable. It was like Thanos. He's like, I'm inevitable. It just seemed like throughout the entire match, like everything was going against Jeff. It was like, if you'd asked me everything he needed to do wrong, this was it.
Yeah, well, in round 1, obviously, has Adam gone perfect every match? That's what I mean. Yeah, he's good, man. The guy is good. Yeah. So he's gone perfect in round 1 again. Obviously, Jeff's just missed 1, but luckily for Jeff, he's missed the bonus question. And then he's obviously only gone up 8-7 at the end.
I knew the bonus question.
Yeah, Shawshank. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, as soon as they said Shawshank, I was like, oh yeah, obviously.
Oh, the Shawshank one? No, I knew the one that Jeff missed.
That was the Wes Craven. What was yeah. But yeah, and then going into round 2, obviously Adam's gone first. So I don't know if they've done if Shannon and him's done a routine there where they've picked his strength. Because obviously landing on Kubrick, there were Hillman and Harin. I don't know where to pick it. They stuck on it, and he's just gone fire through it. And even afterwards, obviously he's got perfect all round, getting 2 points every question. And some of them were deep cuts as well.
Kubrick's like beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. It's like beating Barcelona in the Champions League final. It's like, if you can go perfect in Kubrick in the Schmodown, it's like, yeah, he could probably navigate his way around any other category. Like, like you've got some knowledge of what we're doing here, sir. And it's just, it's aggressively impressive. I think that's what is happening. I feel like I'm being like,
it's scary. Yeah,
it's
like,
scary. Like it's really, yeah.
Because Kubrick's one of my favorites of all time, right? So I'm okay with Kubrick. So the third question in that was from a film called Past of Glory, right? That was, I think it was released in like 1960. I think it was 60 because it's black and white.
60 or 61. Yeah, I was gonna say 60 or 61.
Yeah, and it's black and white, right? With Kirk Douglas. And the question is, what rank is he? Like, for him to just kind of instantly know
pulled
that.
Colonel, bro. I pulled Colonel.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay,
I love that movie.
I took film as art like in June. I think I was at my spring 2 semester this past year before I graduated in July, and we watched a lot of Kubrick and a lot of Hitchcock. So like I watched Birds, I watched Vertigo, like all everything, and then I had even started watching like the second I started going to film school. Of course, we lived like right down the street from our local library, and I would just go down and be like,
"You rent the movies, yeah."
2001, all these movies that like everyone's talked about. There's been all these questions, and most of the movies, like what I really loved about going and doing that was that a lot of the movies that I picked were questions that I would recently have missed in a Schmodown, and that's like just
you need to rewatch them, yeah.
Basically. Yeah. You just need to rewatch them. Like I've been doing Lord of the Rings rewatch this week. Ask me anything. I'm too deep. I'm too deep. I'm good right now.
I need to do that.
I'm doing pretty well too. I'm surprised myself how much I remember. Leo, Paths of Glory is 1957. Even 57. Oh my gosh, 57 in the eyes.
I love that movie. That might even be my favorite Kubrick. Like I love that movie. It's like a 90-minute movie, wicked story.
I miss a good 90-er. I miss a good 90-minute movie.
Yeah,
where do they go?
Old school movie star, starring, and just simple story, but it's so emotional and stuff. So, I love that movie. And
Colonel just rolls off the tongue too.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we were watching high ranking,
matches, but I didn't know. And
we were watching some matches that like you can decipher through like what the rank is in your head, or like we were watching some matches where it was like Harry Potter. And it was like, well, that name doesn't sound like something J.K. Rowling would have written. And it's just like Frank Fudge, or Frank. That sounds very Harry Potterish, but like that's something else. Adam just constantly amazes me. Every single time I play him, it's like I'm adding a new skill or a new strength. Now it's Kubrick. Now it's you're assuming it's classics. I want to see. Man, Jeff was just the perfect test to see if you're real. I think that's just the perfect, line for him to have come across. Dan Murrell is a different story. So before we get to Dan Murrell, let's get through the rest of this match. Round 3 was just.
This was a change. This is
a mood. This is a mood and a vibe, and it totally goes to the Coyote here.
Yeah, he's played it clever. I mean, first of all, in round 2, Jeff stepped up. He's gone perfect in Tyler Perry. I'm glad he spun off Spy Move because I hate that slice. It's so broad and it touches so many other categories as well. Like it's too broad. So they've spun off that and landed on Tyler Perry. He's gone perfect. Great. So he's still obviously just 1 point down. And then round 3, they spun YA, young adult novels. And yeah, I mean, it's just, he's gambled. He's gambled and, it's not paid off.
3 points, Bog.
You did?
I bet 3 points.
Oh, no, I would. No, not YA. I mean, it didn't end up being that deep of a question, obviously. Well, it wasn't at all, but.
I think I ended up with like 10 points after both of their round 2. So like, I think I had 5 in round 1 and then I had 5 points in both of their rounds. So it's just like, the second I got to YA, it was like, finally, some air.
Yeah. And yeah, it was just a simple question. How many Twilight movies have been released? And yeah, it's just.
Guy looked at me and she said 4. I said 5.
Yeah, I was like, because I was like playing 5? Along. I'm like 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. I think I actually left it on 4. Yeah, and I would have got it wrong.
Part 1 and part 2, baby. That's you break the bed in 1, you have a baby in 2.
Well, you're already 1 behind. Jeff was, and then. Now he's like 3 behind. It's like, oh my god, like so, yeah. And then you just kind of, for me, the match was going to be won and lost in round 3 and 4, and so like just from that segment there, he's already 1-0 down. And then, yeah, just going into round 4. Well, lots, I don't know, obviously you must have noticed, you're an editor by trade, but lots of edits in this round and lots of cuts, lots of lagging and all sorts. Yeah. So, yeah. So, I think No Chronic, in hindsight, I think No Chronic was hinting at it, like, from last week. He tried to make it as smooth as possible, but yeah, it really like, I was like, oh, okay, what's going on here? Lots of random explanations and stuff. But I did like, I was going to say Shannon's team talk, but that was actually after this round. But yeah, I mean, Jeff's done his best, but he still ended up 4 points behind. So yeah, it was just a bit of a weird round 4. That was probably the least smoothest round. Yeah. Round 4 that I've seen, I don't know actually, because in some of the live matches we've had long delays and things like that. But just
hey man, sometimes a freaking button doesn't work.
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
like
We're on the internet.
This is way cleaner. I think this is like and at least we saw Christian. I think Christian took the initiative, right? I think that's what Mark said. Christian took the initiative and said, my internet was messing up and that we needed
Mark
to.
Said it.
No. Mark said that Christian is the one that told him. It's not one of the competitors. It wasn't a manager's challenge. Christian was the one that initiated it. This was the.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
This was the. Yeah. So this was the commissioner coming in and saying, like, this is what's going to. Yes, give him another question. This is what's going to happen. However, I hear Jeff's argument of why not just give me the same question. He ends up getting it right anyways. But still, at the end of the day, it wasn't the best round 4. And I just wish there's got to be a way, if it's just so ipso facto on this internet mode we're in. And even in the regular setting, there's still human error. So if we can count, I mean, human error comes in either way.
Sure.
Whether we're in person or whether we're here on the internet. So it'll be interesting to see. I think this is going to prove for Adam that, I mean, the speed round's the only thing that really separates you from a championship match and a regular match. The betting round, you either know it or you don't, and you make the decision on what you know. There's not a whole lot else to be said. And when it comes to the speed round, ball's not in your court. There's a lot of things that could go wrong, and some stuff went wrong for Jeff, and it came back around in his favor. But that's not always going to be the case. So we'll see what happens for Adam going forward. But in round 5, at least Jeff got it to 4 points. Right, going into round 5. Yeah. So at least you get it to where Adam misses the 5. I can make my 5. We can, I win by 1. It's super close. So at least you're feeling that kind of vibe if you're Jeff Snyder. But he was gassed. I think he was gassed.
His luck ran out, I think.
He was gassed. His luck ran out. Leo saying Jeff mistook the Danish girl for theory of everything in round 4.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
When he said Felicity Jones over Alicia Vikander. Agreed. Yep. Totally 100%.
But to be fair, I think that was the only one he got wrong.
Yes.
So he did get 9 points. But it did come down to, for me, I know you've mentioned round 3 there, but it did come down to him gambling in round 3 and missing. And that is that's the name of the round. You gambled and lost there.
Used to call it the Jeopardy round.
Yeah. So yeah, I did appreciate Shannon's Shannon trying to shut down Roxy in between, well, just before the 5th round, because you knew it was coming. You knew Roxy was going to give him like a call to action. Come on, Jeff, this is your time. Make him hit his 5 point, and she just instantly shut it down.
Horn of Gondor.
And she didn't let her play games, basically. Yeah, so it's like remix with the Mandalorian theme.
Oh yeah. Guy coming in also, and we both heard this. Mark misreading a question to Adam was not caught. He said sitcom instead of rom-coms. in one of his, and I believe that is when Adam got that question wrong. So interesting that was not caught. If this was the NBA, the league would have issued a statement on this matter. But
he couldn't challenge anyway, right?
Yeah, he can't challenge in round 4.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a you just gotta accept it kind of thing.
Just gotta roll with the punches.
Yeah.
Round 5.
Yeah, and I loved Jeff's trolling of Kalinowski. Because we had ads in this match, right? At the start of the match for the is it Viagra or something?
Oh, it was like for hymns.
Yeah.
It was very caught off guard.
And Jeff,
I wanted to like tweet like Nerd Chronic's face when he gets sent this ad, and it's like,
and Jeff going into a pharmacy and seeing Kalinowski there buying Viagra. I love that. That was proper trolling. And Shannon was like, lucky Shannon wasn't on screen because I think she would have flipped. So
he was on his game, man. He'll still spit the spit.
Yeah.
I was glad he was in good
Adam spirits
on the big sick. Yeah.
Oh yes, that's right. But I was glad he was in good spirits because he could have easily gone into his shell. And Roxy did try. I need you to focus, whatever. But it wasn't necessary because he was in good spirits. Because I think he knew because obviously against Ethan, he's hit his 5-pointer. Ethan has not. Against Ayama, he's hit his 5-pointer. Ayama has not. So I think his aim is to, even if you're 1, 2, 3, 4 points down, as long as you make them hit the 5-pointer, the board, you've done everything you can. All right, you might not get as many points, but you've put the pressure on them. Let's see if they can hit it. But it just basically didn't work out that way. But I think that was his plan. Obviously, didn't work, but he was close.
Guy saying that ad read is not meant to be on camera. Agreed. Yeah, it was. Yeah, they sent like the dude. There's the dude on screen that was like, "Oh man, I can't get it up anymore." And there's like, "Oh no, I'm sad." And I was like, "Oh geez, what is this?"
I'm pushing the boat up the hill. Like, I'm like, what?
Is this a metaphor? I'm confused.
There's kids watching. Like, yeah.
Right. Right. We can't curse, but we're gonna show you an ad for how to correct your erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, they must have got a good sponsorship for that. I think they sacrificed. I think for the sponsorship.
Matt, what is going on, dude? How is it going?
Yes,
Let's
champ.
go, bro. We've been practicing. We've been studying.
We have. Ooh. We're coming for that belt. That's what we're coming for. Well,
I've been. I think Boggs can say I've been looking pretty good.
You have. Yeah. I mean, I need to step up, but yeah, you've been. Yeah, I know you're looking good, man. You'll. These guys better be worried.
We'll see. And I think I'll. I don't know quite what my persona is going to be. I got a lot of different vibes I can go.
Yeah, I've been thinking about my name. I might add a bit of a spin on it, but anyway, I'll save that.
My a podcast I used to produce last year and earlier this year, Drop the Mic with my good friend DJ Mike Tech here in Charleston in South Carolina. He's a local DJ that does like wedding events and other stuff, but we would just do like a lifestyle pod, like just like talk about life and stuff.
Yeah.
And he deemed me the mouth of the South. And I was like, okay.
Not bad. Yeah.
That's not bad.
If we do teams match, can we be Force Bros like 2.0?
Ooh, we are the Force Bros sequel trilogy. We're the sequels.
The sequel trilogy.
The last Force Bros.
They're legends. We're canon, right?
Yeah. We're officially owned by Disney. If in case anybody cares.
Don't want to brag, but yeah.
And in case anybody would also like to see more of our lovely faces, starting next week, you will find a new feed for We Have the High Ground, a new Star Wars podcast from myself and Boggs, breaking down everything going on in the Star Wars universe, starting off with 2 episodes coming next week, breaking down the first season of The Mandalorian, split in 2, And the back half of episode 2 is going to give you our thoughts and predictions on what we think is going to happen in season 2. And going forward, every weekend, you will, or preferably probably on a Friday by the end of the day, you will have a fresh, hot Mandalorian review from yours truly, Colin and Boggs. And we will be hitting that up, and it's going to be awesome. It's a start of a new age here in this group of content that you got here with all of us at the Ultimate Schmodown Show. It's going to be fantastic. We got this coming. We got me reviving my sports show. And it's, we got a huge wave of content coming here to close out 2020 to push into 2021. And it's the year of us. I mean, we're gonna push, we're gonna do our thing, and we're gonna, I kind of live by this rule. If you're gonna talk about it with somebody on the phone for 30 minutes, why not podcast about it? And if I'm gonna talk to my best friend about, the Mandalorian, I might as well bring him on and at some points, and you Boggs as well, because we all sit here and we watch these shows, and I got some fantastic people lined up to come onto our show as well to bring on some different perspectives. And I love the fact that we all like when I talk to you about Star Wars, I feel like I'm talking to myself, because we both consume the same content. And another thing that I love that we're gonna do is we're gonna break down the novels. We're gonna talk about have you read Lords of the Sith? Yeah, okay.
It's like my favorite one.
Okay. It's like my favorite one. Right. It's like my favorite one. The first 40 pages of that book where Vader's like talking you through like how he's adjusting to his mechanical body and the pain he feels. And the pain he feels.
And the way that they've built the suit to keep him in pain, kind of thing.
Oh my God.
Awesome. Awesome. And they're going through that jungle and anyway, we'll say that for the show. Matt, we'll get Matt on as well.
Oh, Matt, for sure. I mean, we're Star Wars kids at heart. I think that's what I mean.
It's been
look
awesome.
at me. Let me just, within arm's reach, which one you want? You want Darth Revan?
Yeah, you got it.
Which one you want? You want Darth Malik? Like, which one you want? Like, I mean, these are my, Star Wars is my lifeblood. This is like this is my sanctity. It's like the one thing in the Schmodown I don't ever have to study. It's like I just know. It's like like the encyclopedias that were always there.
I could legitimately do a Star Wars show every day.
Every day.
And not get bored.
Because we could definitely rewatch. You and I could rewatch Clone Wars, and that's the relationship that we've formed over the last few months. Like, I would legitimately sit down and rewatch an episode of Clone Wars with you every day. Like, there's no reason why I wouldn't. Like, just because I would want to, and then we could talk about it and why it's great and why it's awesome and why it's so uniquely Star Wars, and it would just be great. But Alex Damon already does that too greatly for me to try to impede on that ground. Yeah,
but just overall, we are stepping up, kind of in the months coming, with a lot more shows, and we're going to do other live shows. Maybe, obviously, don't want to, tempt fate or anything, but potential channel change, potentially in the future.
There's a lot of moves going on. I like to put it this way: we're chefs cooking up a dinner, and we got a lot of pots on the stove. Yeah, we got a lot of pots on the stove right now, and we're about ready to mix it all together into one big happy recipe, into one big beautiful dish. So, closing out our thoughts on this match, I would I need to shout out the commitment that Roxy finally showed through the course of this tournament. She evolved into like a digital manager, because I think that was something that was different, that is not the same. Like, she had some time that needed, she needed to work things out.
Yeah.
Because it used to just be, Roxy comes on and does the thing, and her and Koi kind of did the most evolving this year in terms of like where they started at the season in the digital sphere and where they are now. Just overall really impressed with her. And close it off, Shannon, Manager of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to kind of disagree, but yeah, I agree with what you're saying with Roxy. I think Jeff's brought the best out of her in terms of
she's got the most investment in him. She's got so much stock in him. She's got the most stock in Jeff Snyder. It's him and Draco.
Yeah, exactly. Other managers have other players like to bring the kind of best out of them, and Koi with Shazam, or Shannon with Corruption, or Finstock and the host of Finstock Boys, and she's got Jeff and Draco. So I was glad she kind of kind of got the respect, because at the start of the season, I think she was people giving her kind of a lot of stick, a lot of shots taken at her. But if you've won a title as a manager, you've instantly got the respect in my book. You do things right. That means, for me, and she's absolutely proved it with Jeff. And that team talk, that last round hurrah that she kind of snapped him into gear the match before, that absolutely cemented her as a great manager for me. But yeah, in terms of Shannon being a manager of the year, I mean, I think for me it's still up in the air between her and Winston. Maybe
she's got two dudes in the spectacular.
That's what it comes down to.
She's got two dudes in the spectacular.
If Chance wins his match and Collins beats,
but also at the same time Winston has two.
Then yeah,
Winston has two in the spectacular. Winston has Ace.
That's right.
And Winston has Shazam.
And they're both they both have one player that played a playing match, won their tournaments, and playing in a final. And yeah, and thinking about it, Shannon's won the Inner Geekdom and the singles tournament, right? That's pretty obviously. Swag's won the Star Wars tournament.
Matt coming in saying Shannon only gets manager of the year if Adam beats Dan or Deception goes far. If Deception can pull off the upset against Lethal Weapons, right? Is that their name?
Okay, first, yeah.
Lethal Weapons. That's Ethan and Guy. So yeah, they're now you have Adam Collins and Marisol just coming up, ready to tear up this teams tournament. So. Yeah. I don't know what we're really talking about here. This is this is a really feared team. This is a team that maybe has never played together on screen, but I would love to know how many times Deception and Corruption have faced off in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber on StreamYards. Leo, thanks. Winston has Asian. Chandru, Koi has Shazam. Thanks for correcting me. Appreciate it. Yeah, Chandru. I mean, who would have thought that these are the managers that were going to be in here in the spectacular,
especially Winston. I mean,
oh my gosh,
even I did think maybe Shannon, because she has got kind of all-star players. Yeah. But she's obviously drafted great, but especially Winston, because he was never a great player. Even on SEN and stuff, I thought he was funny. And I thought he was just a good character. I didn't know he was this invested. I didn't know he'd be this involved.
Gotta watch him on Blurs in the Hood and on Game Time.
Yeah, I've known that this season.
He's committed.
Before that, yeah, exactly. I've come to learn that, and I come to learn that early in the year. But before, last year, I didn't. So yeah, that was kind of my own hindsight.
I think Christian had the same realization you did early in the year, and then he was like, "Oh, so you're going to be on SEN every day."
Yeah, and I think it was in the Star Wars tournament when he's kind of he's dropping kind of tweets about watching Star Wars and dropping lines from the movies.
What have we here? He starts getting
that was one of the best moments of the season.
He sets the tone. I will say, and I'm taking your point. I'm running with it. He set the tone for the entire season of what managers needed to bring. I was gonna
say he's getting emotional after Ace wins. And talking about representation, and talking about he's just so invested and just involved. That's why he's up. That's why for me he's won at the moment. But stats can overrule that. If Shannon's obviously already won 2 tournaments, if she wins 2 more belts, then I might have to go with Shannon. But it's a toss up straight.
It's unbelievable. It's a season we all never saw coming. But it's a season I think everyone who watches this game is grateful for, because it has raised the level of competition. We talked about this last week with Nerd Chronic. We said, imagine the theatrics of last year going up with the competition of this year.
Yeah.
It's a whole new game. It's a new era. And next year, I think we're going to see a combination. We're going to see a hybrid. We're going to see a hybrid of these two games. We're going to see the online, and we're going to see in person. So hopefully.
And new players coming in now, but I think before this season there was always a question mark over a rookie player or a fan leaguer. Now any fan leaguers coming in,
it's done.
Yeah,
you can't even have that conversation.
Better and better.
There's a
even like
generic
I so
conversation
wish
to have about somebody who's new, and that conversation is gone
it's done.
unless
Yeah,
now.
we're past that stage.
But then
So
don't tell me that the conversation every time needs to be, is this the next Adam
no,
Collins? Is this the next
yeah,
this? Is this the next that? That's the one part I can't stand.
yeah, true. But like, even I wish I listened to Chance, because when we obviously spoke to him, however months ago it was, I remember him saying Collins, like, you guys need to see Collins. He's going to be, he's so good. Like, he studies with us, and he helps me with my training. And I remember thinking, yeah, whatever. He's a rookie. Are you just talking him up because he's a corruption boy? But obviously, and Marisol as well. He talked to her, but yeah, I should have listened to him. He called it really 2 months ago. Obviously, he didn't call all the way, but he did say this guy is dangerous and one to look out for. And it's another kind of mistake of mine not listening.
Yeah, we'll both, for all the children out there watching, we'll figuratively Fortnite take the L on this one. And we both picked Snyder. And sorry, because we're both corruption boys, so I don't really know what goes through our heads sometimes. I think we think we know more than our hearts, and I think our hearts are usually in the right place. And I think I wanted Jeff Snyder to win.
Yeah.
But I knew Adam Collins was going to put up a fight, but I did not see this fight coming. This was an unbelievable display of talent. This was an unbelievable display of resilience in a moment. Resilience in the face of everyone telling you can't. And I just mad props, mad respects to him, and just the whole team at Corruption this year has just been on a whole other level, riding through right now. I think they're the team of the season in terms of just or at least right now, because there hasn't been this blend of old and new, right? Like there's something to say about Chandru and Ace, but they're both relatively newer. Corruption, Chance. I mean, this is a dangerous blend of talent that if Shannon's not going to be able to keep all four of them. So Shannon better, if she takes them to the semifinals, to the finals of this team's tournament.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah. Kind of all eyes on them now, I guess. Yeah. So, if they go through this tournament, wow, super impressive. But yeah, there's a lot of kind of other contenders out there, and that's one of the reasons why I did pick Jeff, because like you're saying, that underdog story. That, yes, obviously Collins was kind of an underdog also, but as soon as he's got that win against Roka, I felt like people were kind of like wary of him and fearful of him, and kind of talked him up. But that's why I kind of did back Jeff, because he had a lot of points to prove, and I knew he could do it. So I was kind of backing him to do that. And and Collins is the underdog against Morrow. But the way he's been playing, like, Morrow better watch out. This guy can play a 5-round game.
You better move into that house quick, baby boy, and you better start studying. You better get them note cards out.
Yeah. Well, he's got a good sparring partner. So yeah, we'll see. He could be in a teams match and a singles match. But in spectacular, of course. But yeah, I'm not an easy task for Morrow at all. He's playing someone brand new, who's in excellent form. So and like, even the managers, like Shannon's going to be super confident in that match. You would think, even like psychologically, but like Finstock,
why wouldn't she be?
Yeah, Finstock on the other hand, he's like he feels like no one apart from Morrill is stepping up for him. So maybe he might be going in a bit nervous. So yeah, we'll see what the team situation is saying, but yeah, I think all the kind of cards are in Corruption's hands there.
Lies, so. Matt. Lies.
Yeah,
lies. Nothing but lies here from Matt Thomas saying Chance is gone. Market.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. You're missing the greatest move in the history of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown by Christian Harloff, is by taking Mike Kalinowski away from Shannon Barney. You've never seen drama in anything online like you will see if Mike Kalinowski suits up for another team and she keeps the future, which is the 3 players who have played the best for her, which are Chance, Adam, and Marisol.
Yeah, I mean, you know that I have seen that a few times online the last kind of over the last week. But for me, like, I don't know, I might be a bit deluded, but yes, Collins has won the singles tournament. Marisol's played 2 matches. Yes, she looked great, and looks like she's going to be a great
player.
I'm
assuming they make the finals when I say that. Like they make the finals of the team's tournament, and she makes it extremely difficult for Shannon to like turn her away.
But even still, I mean, yes, as a storyline, if Mike left Corruption, that would be great. But Mike's a 2-time team champion. He's won a team's champion this year. He's won a team's belt. He's in a Geekdom 2-time champion, being in a Geekdom final this year. Like, for me, like, there's a respect thing there. Like, for me, if I was Shannon, I would not pick Collins over Mike Kalinowski. I wouldn't do it on pure respect. Like, no, like, this is a
this might be a Mike Kalinowski decision, though. I think like Mike might in the background just be like,
you might need to change. Yeah, I mean,
I want you to be successful, and I'm not what's best for you in the Schmodown. Oh, Guy saying they'll have to change the team name.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, it's his thing.
That's a lot. Yeah.
So not only winning the belts, winning the matches, this whole faction, the whole personality, the whole KO thing, the whole, him and Chance together, like the whole.
Bro, he hasn't KO'd somebody.
He's helped build the league the last few years, right? So for him to get kicked off because someone's, won 4 matches in a row, like, no, like, that's not how, that's. So he's in form, right?
See, but you don't know. We don't know. This is a whole new game. It's a whole new world.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a whole new world. You gotta think about the draft, because it's like, who would you rather see if you're Shannon across the way? Would you rather see Mike in a singles or a teams match, or would you rather see Marisol? I'll make that answer really easy. The answer is Mike Kalinowski.
For me, yeah, but like, yeah, obviously we'll see how Deception are going to do in their tournament. But yeah, for me, like, I wouldn't. I don't care. Like, I know that that these guys are in great form. I know they're good players, but we're talking about a potential, all-time great player there, and I wouldn't drop him personally. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents anyway.
We'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happens, because that's a stage that'll.
Because even going into hopefully this COVID-19 situation sorts itself out, and going into live events, going into studio matches, who do you want on that desk? Yeah, do you want Kalinowski? They're talking smack before, doing promos, selling out arenas, or Collins, right? Collins, we don't know how he's going to be in a studio match. We don't know if he has the, obviously he has the gameplay, but is that going to transcend in a studio match? He hasn't been there. He hasn't done it. He hasn't got.
Okay, but like his ceiling is Dan Murrell in terms of studio performance, and that's fine.
But, well, I don't know.
But his floor could be like.
You don't know that under the lights. You don't know how people behave under pressure. Under pressure, you just don't know. Obviously, these guys have been there, done it. So, I mean, for me, there's too many positives.
Very few people who compete on the show for the first time have felt those lights. Those lights are bright. I have sat under those lights, and it's like, it's hot.
Literally,
hot,
yeah.
And there is a reason why people put on sunglasses.
And there's people shine overrated from the crowd, or like, people
you don't
booing
want to
or
be
cheering,
here. Like
so many other factors that he has not experienced. So these kind of things that
at least he knows they exist, though. At least he knows what to prepare for. Matt, come in. Here's the thing: so. Chance has grown past Corruption. He needs to be the guy on a faction. Corruption will forever be synonymous with Mike. I agree with you there. So that would have to be. I mean, that would literally. I would think that Shannon would have to trade Chance for a first-round draft pick. I think she would have to trade him to a team for a first-round draft pick, and then she could have 2 first-round picks next year. That's the only way I see Chance leaving Corruption. But because you just don't let him walk away unless they just completely fall apart. Unless he completely falls apart in IG, and obviously he's not going to be there in teams for the rest of the year competing. So it'll just be interesting to see. I'm with you there, Matt. I'm totally with you there. It's going to be the ball is in Shannon's court right now, and well, technically it's on the players to perform. So we'll see what Chance is able to do. We'll see what Deception's able to do. Any final thoughts going forward? I guess the next big match is I don't know.
Next big match is probably the free for all at end of this month, right? So that should be next weekend.
We got the horror one coming up. We got the horror free for all coming up. Yeah. That's going to be
fantastic. Next weekend at the Skybound Expo, which is
Matt, the sign and trade. He's not like Chris Paul trying to go to the Bucks, Matt. Like, this isn't like the NBA. If it's a sign and trade, like, what are we talking about here? Like a 4-year deal? Like, it's free agency. It's on. Yeah. I hear you. It'll be interesting. That's what we're in new territory. We're in new territory here.
Yeah, I think it comes down to the team situation, how Deception do. But for me, it's a no-brainer. But yeah, I understand the arguments, but nah, not for me. Not for me. Put respect on KO. Put respect on the 4-time champion, and the others can go. But at the same time, is she going to drop them? Who knows? We'll see. It's interesting times. But yeah, it's.
We'll see if the Schmodown turns into a "What have you done for me lately" league.
Could be. Yeah, recency bias is a big thing. It's a big thing. But yeah, it's super interesting. But I would never drop Mike. Never. I don't care. I don't care if he goes on a 5-loss streak. It's like dropping Roker. Are you going to drop Roker now? Like, no, like you wouldn't, right?
Yeah,
they're bringing too much to the game.
That's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
He's gonna drop
stop Mike. Yeah, true. But I mean, me personally, no. Like, I guess you do what's best.
It's like if Roka leaves, it's like Tom Brady going to the Buccaneers. It's like a dude leaving, like going to a brand new team after being on the same team. It's like when Wayne Rooney left United. You're like, what is going on here? This isn't right. He should only be in one jersey. And it's just like it sets up a whole new world. Like I don't want to play Roka right now. I think Roka's pissed. I think the Founding Fathers. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be the Founding Fathers, and I think it's going to be Deception in the final of the team's tournament.
Okay,
that's my pick. That's my pick, and I'm sticking to it.
I'm going for Lethal Weapons. In that. That's
nice.
That side. Yeah, on that side. If they click,
still have to see it. I still have to see it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like blind faith, to be honest with you. But I think if they click, like, there's something appealing about them guys. But yeah, we'll see.
We shall see. And sir, any final thoughts? I think
final thoughts. Yeah, sorry. Good tournament.
No, you're good.
Good tournament overall. Deserved winner. I mean, big wins. So congratulations to him. I doubted him, but he's proved me wrong. Also, congrats to Snyder. He's got himself a number 1 contenders match against either Liz Shannon Miller or Ethan Owen. The winner of them two will play Schneider in a number 1 contender match next season. But for me, overall, I do put this singles tournament in terms of excitement behind the Inner Geekdom Star Wars tournament this year. I'm not going to lie. I think that the thrills were in the Star Wars and Inner Geekdom tournament. The pure shock value.
I'll agree with you. In terms of total match value. Total match value. We had a lot of 10s in those tournaments, and here we had a lot of 8s. Oh, 8s and 9s.
That's it. I agree. Overall, absolutely good tournament. But I mean, now looking forward to the team situation and then leading on to Spectacular. And we need to get all these guests, everyone playing Spectacular, we need to get them on 1 week at a time. And can't wait to break it down.
Guy ain't calling me out. Call him before the show. I won't be making picks anymore.
It's a part of the game. If you win, if you're right, you're right.
Babe, I have to do my job.
Yeah, exactly. This is the ultimate.
I might not want to
doesn't mean we're
job.
right. Yeah.
Right.
It has to be a winner. It has to be a loser. But
we went on a streak in like August and July that was unbelievable because we were both sitting. We picked Chance. Like we picked Chance from the beginning. We told you,
and I picked Ace to win. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I did. I picked Schneider to win this tournament. Yeah. And look, he lost in the final. Yeah, I know. We're not, like bragging or anything, but yeah, it's like
brag away.
We're here to analyze and dissect and take all aspects into the game, aspects of the game in making a decision. We're not always right, but it's fun to do. And apologies for not being perfect, right, Colin?
Yeah. Well, hey, everybody. Matt Thomas coming in with a little plug here saying Monday, November 3rd. And I guess what is that? That would be a Thursday, the 6th. Be sure to check out Boggs and Collins' debut matches on the Really Trivia Show.
Coming for them belts. I want that belt here on my chest. That's what I'm coming for. Yeah, we're practicing, we're training. I need to buy my shades this week. But it's been it's a pleasure to join the fan league, and because I'm excellent at home when I'm playing. But so let's see if I can back my talk up in the practice matches. I ain't gonna lie, well, I'm not doing great, but we'll see in the when the lights are on, and see if I can step up.
I will say, Boggs is at a hot disadvantage. I don't know what Boggs' school days were like, but when I was in middle school, I was on Quiz Bowl, so like the recall and stuff is there. It's like it's in the brain. So for some of the stuff, I'm either like really, really right or I'm really, really wrong. So it's like, but I will always I gotta work it out in my brain where I gotta take my first guess. Like my first guess is usually right. Like it's usually 85% of the time, if I come up with something off the top of my head, it's right. And those 15% of the times are where I'm like, I either didn't see the movie or I just can't pull it. And so I just got to trust my gut. Just got to go with it. I'm excited. It's the first time. I mean, I did a little mock competitions with some folks in the fan leagues. I think it was the Movie Trivia Showdown folks I was working with before. A couple of like a year and a half ago when I first got into the patron stuff. And it's just that thirst for competition. So we'll see. Boggs, any thoughts on what your persona might be?
Not really. I mean, is a fly flash super cool dude from Britain not a good character? No?
I mean, you could be like Peaky. You could be like a Peaky Blinder.
Oh, should we Cockney? That's not a good accent. Yeah, should be like a brown Oliver Twist or something.
We were, Boggs. You won't think this is the funniest thing, man. We were out with a friend who's moving to a state away from us, and we went and got some dinner and drinks the other night. Very, very socially distant. We were the only people out on the back patio. Yeah. And I look up and it's closing time, and me and the bartender get into a conversation about the Premier League. And he goes, oh, because of course I'm a City fan. And he goes, oh, so I bet you're real, well, hold on, let me try to do the accent. He goes, so I bet you're real spot about Van Dijk going out. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean? I'm like, whoa.
Was he English or what?
Boy, he's from fucking Liverpool. Like, I was like, whoa. I was like, my bad. Like, I didn't know what shit I was stepping in. Right. I stepped in like the stinkiest pile of poo in all of international football. Yeah. Was the Van Dijk like a
sour, very sour.
Yeah.
Because like his season's done. So
done. Done. Oh, Matt's saying, I think I'm sticking with Mouth from the South. It's Mouth of the South, but Mouth from the South. I'm a Mouth of the South. Or if I do ever, if I'm lucky enough to be good enough to transition to the to be on Corruption, I would be the Funko with KO capitalized, because
not bad.
The Funko King. We'll see what happens. I'm really excited. I'm excited to play. We went and got the whiteboard. We ain't playing around.
On the whiteboard, yeah.
Yeah, I was using the iPad, and I was like, people would think I'm cheating. Let me use a whiteboard. So other than that, we got a lot of stuff coming around the bend. We got, like I said, we have the High Ground coming out. That'll be pushed out on all these platforms.
Great show.
Oh, I mean, I'm not going to take full credit, but I will take full credit for the naming of the show. I named the show. I know if we have the High Ground is probably my like. Besides my sports show, which was consistently inconsistent because we never recorded on the same day, which was obviously to be right. And this one, we have the High Ground, and logo coming. Logo is here. We do have the logo. So it'll go up next week. It'll go up on this feed. And then in the future, We'll have everything on a nice new big feed, and we got a lot of stuff coming. So for fans of us, make sure to follow us. And I think that's the main thing, is that you follow us at TUSS Pod. You follow us at Boggs, at the underscore
Facebook pages,
on the Facebook pages. We'll be sticking. Yeah. We'll be letting everybody know in the Outlaw Nation. We'll be letting everybody know. We got big things coming. Basically, moral of the story, we got some things coming. It's gonna be awesome.
One last shout out. I do want to give a shout out to John the Outlaw Roker. On his birthday, he is doing a Patreon birthday celebration, I think a bit later on. So yeah, happy 50th. Thank you for everything you've done for us, for putting the show on.
Thanks for hiring me.
Yeah, basically. Thanks
but
for
I don't get paid. Hiring
all
and
of that.
And it seems I get paid. I don't get paid.
Yeah, so shout out for him on his big day. But yeah, well, you know, it's I give it to charity.
You gotta pay. What is that? Toll or what? Collect calls. This is a collect call to the UK.
Reverse the charges. Yeah.
Imagine we were doing the show in 1990. The fees would be out the wazoo.
Tell me about it. But
Bell South would be out of control. They'd be like, "What is going on here? We got crazy charges."
Yeah, I'm super excited for this Star Wars show to drop. I mean, that's just fun. Like I can do that all day, every day. You know, it's different perspective. Obviously, I'm not in the States. I'm an international person talking about Star Wars, person of color, minority, getting my thoughts and opinions. Because, like, for example, I've never seen someone like me on a Star Wars show talking about Star Wars, what they think, their impressions, their ideas, things like that. So for me, it's a pleasure to give my opinions out there. And you coming from like a analytical sport background as well, so it's a good mix, loads of fun. Please tune in and support, follow, all that good stuff.
We'll be sending it out. If you follow us, we will be you will hear about it, and hopefully we can get some fantastic people on the show. I already got a couple of folks in line in my mind, just in my life, that I want to get on and talk about Star Wars and get them in, just because a lot of people that I know that talk about Star Wars to me because they feel like I'm a safe place, and I'm a safe place where you won't be judged, and you can have your thoughts, you can have your opinions, you can have your theories, and I will take them all, and you can send them all to me at _C Morris any time of the day, and I will gladly talk Star Wars. I will gladly talk Schmodown. We will gladly talk all the time. Matt, bet your sweet ass I'm going to Celebration in 2022. You can bet it. And Boggs will be there. We're going to get Boggs there. # Boggs to Celebration.
Yeah.
In 2022.
One day.
No, that day. No, that's that day.
Okay,
that's the day.
What was it? April 2022.
Yeah. We'll be there. Well, folks, that'll do it for this live edition of the Ultimate Schmodown Show. We will be back next week to who knows what we'll be watching next week. I don't know. Christian drops the schedule whenever he drops it, and we just react to whatever he sends us because we're sheep at the end of the day. Boggs,
we shall react.
We shall react. Boggs, I hope you have a great weekend. Everyone else, do the same. Stay safe. Wear a mask. And if you're in the United States, vote. That'll do it for the Ultimate Schmodown Show. I'm Colin. That's Boggs. We'll see you next week. Bye.